Beware. Beware. This is a warning. The Grim Reaper of radio, Bob Romanik, with his off-the-record show is about to air. He's probably the nastiest and craziest son of a bitch that you've ever had the misfortune to encounter. The Grim Reaper show will be very controversial and probably quite tasteless. If you are even slightly offended by controversial matter concerning religion, racial matters, politics, or life's problems, you are hereby warned to turn this program off immediately. The Grim Reaper show will be, like his face, very scary and very ugly. At this time, not proudly, but shamefully presents to you Bob Romanik, the craziest son of a bitch on the radio today.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, your guardian of the First Amendment, Radical Radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. Good Tuesday morning, everybody, friend and foe. We're going to switch this around a little bit today. We've got an honored guest with us today, Kurt Gross from Waterloo. He's the treasurer, the drum corps for the Aenide Shriners Temple and past potentate. And he's going to be here to talk to us about their concert coming up, a great concert. I hope everybody attends. Actually, Kurt was nice enough to give us 12 tickets, so the first 12 people that call will get tickets to the Shriners concert, and we'll be talking about that momentarily. I want to get Kurt in and out because I'm going crazy, and I don't want anything to fall back on the great Shriners. These guys do for everybody. And you know, when I say they do for everybody, they do for our children, our less fortunate children. And that's doing for everybody, because if you do for my child, you do for me. If someone does something for your child, they do for you. And I say this to my friends and my foes. For the ones that did something for me, I'll remember it. But for you people that did something for my son, I'll never forget it. And I say that good and bad. And the people that were around to help my son when he was alive, I'll never forget it. And my heart is with you. You rotten, no good, no count, good for nothing bastards at St. Clair County that did something not for my son, but to my son. I'll never forget that, you rotten bastard, scumbag son of a bitches. And see, people, it ain't political with me, it's personal. These bastards have screwed over every decent person. If you don't kiss their ass, if you don't bow down to them, if you don't give them money, they want to destroy you. See, they couldn't destroy me. They came after my son. Now I'm coming after you, you rotten son of a bitches. God, I'd rather piss in my pants than piss in a urinal sprague. Mark Sweetcakes Kern, you piece of political crap. And don't forget John Red on the noodle like a pecker on a poodle bear a civic. You rotten bastard trying to circumvent and bend and break and destroy our state constitution because you ain't got the guts to run for retention because you know 60% of the people will never vote for your lame ass. Hey, I want to apologize again. What I say, don't take it against the Shriners. These Shriners, what a great organization. These guys go out, spend their time, spend their money to help. Did you see these ads on TV? And I know this is not politics, and I know it's probably not exciting, and I'm not going to, well, I may cuss a little bit. But this is really serious. This is stuff that we need to think about. We need to work on. We need to assist. We need to help people like the Shriners. These guys they're like the military. They give their all to help these less fortunate young kids. And you go over to the Shriners hospitals, you see what the Shriners do all throughout our community, and you'd be saluting them every day. They don't get enough praise for what the Shriners do, because again, when they do for somebody's child, that's doing for the whole family. Not only the whole family, the whole community. So stick around. We'll be momentarily with Kurt Gross. He's the treasurer of the drum corps. We're going to talk all about the great Shriners. And then I'm going to get him out of here because I'm about ready to blow up, and I don't want it to be any bad light on our great Shriners. Kurt's here. Kurt's here not to represent me, not to endorse me, not to endorse the crazy crap I say or do. He's here for a great cause. He's here for the children of our community. So Kurt Gross will be with us momentarily. Hero Inside Day. Don't forget, coming up this Saturday, April the 16th at Long Acres Park. Going to be a great time. It's raising awareness against heroin. And people, let me tell you, heroin is an epidemic that maybe hasn't reached your house yet. So let's stop it. Let's stop it before it does. There's going to be a lot of fun for the kids, bounce houses, face painting, live bands. It'll be held this Saturday, April the 16th from 12 noon to 9 p.m. at Long Acre Park. Go out there and support this great cause because, again, just be thankful and hopefully your family isn't involved, isn't addicted to this nasty, nasty drug. Lunch at the Legion. Lunch at the Legion every Monday through Friday. Lunch will be sold from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Carry out or dine in. You can call ahead for pickup orders, 632-8879. And this is the American Legion in O'Fallon, and I'm honored. You know, somebody said, well, why don't you get some ads from them? I don't want American Legion money. I don't want VFW money. I don't want Shriners money. I want to give back. We all need to give back. So, again, anything we can do for your community out there, any of you a military organization, patriotic organizations, religious organizations, and we do, we'll be more than happy to. But that's every Monday through Friday at the O'Fallon American Legion, located at 109 North Penn Street in O'Fallon. And also, they've got Wednesday night dinner specials every Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. at the American Legion, open to the public. Any questions or concerns, 632-8879. And see, all these American Legions, all these VFWs have helped us out in the past. We need to help them out. They've opened it up to the public because they're getting less and less members because, they're dying off. Our World War II, our Vietnam vets. So they're opening it up to the public, and what a great group of people, all the VFWs, American Legion. So if you guys can go out and support them, please do. Also, Saturday, April the 16th, sponsored by the O'Fallon Moose Lodge. All proceeds will be donated to the Life Skills Classroom at Fulton Junior High School in O'Fallon. The American Legion Post 137, located at 109 North Penn Street. It'll be held there, sponsored by the Moose. They're going to have bratwurst, pork steak. So if you guys can make it out to the American Legion Post 137 in O'Fallon, please do on Saturday, April the 16th from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. A great cause. This Saturday, April the 16th, the Cahokia VFW Post 1699, their car show. If you have any questions or concerns, want to get involved, want to enter, you can call 618-337-1699. Don't forget, this weekend, the American Legion Post 199 out of Edwardsville. They've got their concert, their big concert, 3 bands, an all-day concert to be held Saturday, April the 16th. Great bands, great music, food and fun. Any questions or concerns, you can contact 618-656-9774, and that's the first annual Spring Rock on the Hills, sponsored by the Edwardsville American Legion Post 199. 75th Annual Beef Dinner to be held by the Franklin Masonic Lodge Post 25, located at 1513 Washington Avenue in Alton, Illinois. And last but not least, Tori's Story. This Sunday, April the 17th, the radio station will be there. April the 17th on Sunday, a spaghetti dinner for the Morgan family fundraiser. Tori Morgan was the senior at Freeburg High School who was hurt in a serious car crash on her way to school on March the 21st. So if you good people can get out to the St. John the Baptist Catholic Church in Smithton on Sunday from 4 to 8, it would be greatly, greatly appreciated. Don't forget, you can pick me up on iTunes. Type in Bob Romanik and/or the Grim Reaper Radio. You can go to our streaming site, insanebroadcasting.com. One word, common spelling for all 3 of our great stations. You can now hear my repeat performance every day at 4 o'clock p.m., Monday through Friday, and also broadcasting from the graveyard to the graveyard shift every night at the stroke of midnight. Like us on Facebook, KZQZ 1430 AM or KZQZ 1190 AM or vice versa. What the hell? You can also get my Fans of the Grim Reaper of Radio, Fans of the Grim Reaper of Radio, and Bob Romanik for State Representative. On this date, April the 12th, 1861, the Civil War began at 4:30 a.m. On this date, April the 12th, 1877, the baseball's catcher's mask was used for the first time in a baseball game in Lynn, Massachusetts. On this date, April the 12th, 1945, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt died while in office on the 83rd day of his fourth term. On this date, April the 12th, 1954, the first rock and roll record ever made, Rock Around the Clock, was recorded by Bill Haley at Decca Radio Studios in New York City. On this date, April the 12th, 1983, the first black mayor of Chicago, Harold Washington, was elected. That's what happened on this date, April the 12th, throughout all these years in our world's history. Now, it is an honor and a privilege. Kurt's been on our show before. He's a great guy with a great cause, and I want to thank him and all the Shriners for all they do for all of our children, which means the world to me, and I'm sure the world to you guys. Mr. Kurt Gross, the treasurer for the Drum Corps for the Shriners, and also the past potentate. Kurt, how the hell you doing, buddy?
Just fine this morning, sir.
Sir, don't call me sir. Hey, we want to salute you for all you do. Kurt, you guys been around for a while. They tell me that you guys won some kind of award. Is that true?
We've been the Shrine International Drum Corps champion for many years. And so we're out there performing in the communities, trying to give back to the communities. That's why we're having the I-9 Drum Corps Spring Exhibition with the O'Fallon Jazz Band and Jazz Ensemble this year.
Now, where's that going to be held at, Kurt?
It will be held at the Scottish Rite Auditorium at 1549 Frank Scott Parkway West in Belleville, April 23rd at 7 p.m.
You know, Kurt, that's a beautiful facility out there. I'm surprised more people don't utilize that for concerts, but that really, really is a first-class facility out there. Plenty of parking, a nice, safe area, and I hope people will come out. There's about, 600-700 capacity there, or do you know?
We can go up to 1,000 people in the building.
Have you had one there before?
Yes, we had one last year, and we had the Belleville West Band as the participating high school band. So we pick a different band each year to participate and be part and give back to not only the proceeds from this event. The Shrine Drum Corps does not take any proceeds from the event. We give it back to the participating band, which this year will be the O'Fallon Band, the Shrine Charities, and the Scottish Rite Dyslexia Center.
You know, you guys, I can't, and really, I couldn't thank you enough for all you guys do. I watch these TV ads, and you know, you guys have to earn money. You guys put enough money out of your own pocket, but I know these ads are costly. And to see some of the stuff you guys do, honestly, when they say men don't cry, whoever says that's a lousy, lying son of a gun, and I say that, and I won't cuss out of respect for you and the Shriners, but you guys need to get some money. You need to have some community support because you guys can't do it all on your own, Kurt.
No, sir. We have to go out and march the streets, do the parades, have fundraisers for the hospital. Over the past 2.5 years, the Drum Corps alone has given over $23,000 to Shriners Hospital.
And because of these functions like this?
Yes, sir.
What I mean, you guys get no kind of money from any tax base or no money from, I guess maybe some big philanthropy groups maybe give you some, but you guys are really self-sufficient for you and for all your causes, aren't you?
That is correct. We go out there and work every day, every week. The I-9 Shrine has been one of the best in the nation, ranked in membership-wise of number 6 or 7 at this point. And we've been very energetic in Southern Illinois working with the different communities. So having this concert here today is giving back to the community that we're going to have on the 23rd and allowing to have a local band show their talents, show what we do, and we actually go out to other high schools and give concerts and fundraisers to the high schools also. So we want to give back to the community ourselves.
You know, Kurt, it's Saturday, April the 23rd. Is there going to be food there, or are people going to go to dinner and then come to the concert?
There will be after the concert's over, we'll go back to the dining area, and we will have refreshments and food there for people to meet the participants after the concert's over. Okay.
Kurt, you've been nice enough to give me 12 tickets. And again, the first 12 people that call will get tickets 2 at a time. We don't want to give out 12 to one person. It's going to be held Saturday, April the 23rd. Starts at 7 p.m. at the Scottish Rite Auditorium, 1549 Frank Scott Parkway West in Belleville, Illinois. Tickets are $12. So, hell, that's a $24 savings. So any of you people that want to go out to the Shriners concert, I guarantee you'll have a great time. And let's go out there and support the cause. Kurt, through your years, you were the past potentate of the Shriners. That's got to be a very, very stressful position to be the top man in a great group like these guys with the Shriners. How was your experience as a past potentate?
Being potentate at the temple was a rewarding experience for me. I never thought I would be there. It was 20 years ago, and I was quite young doing that. I enjoyed the opportunity to serve for the shrine in Southern Illinois, go out to the people and meet with the members and have them express themselves and get together with the people in Southern Illinois to promote not only the shrine, but to promote the main purpose, which is our hospitals.
Yeah, my son was on the director's staff, and he used to drive one of the potentates around, and he said, Dad, he says, this is worse than politics, he says, because we're every place, because we want to get out and reach out to the people. And see, people don't understand. They see you guys having a good time at these parades and picnics, but they don't understand all the preparation, all the hard work that goes in to that half hour or hour of parade or performance by the Shriners. There's a lot of work, Kurt, that goes on every day.
Yes, there is. The drum corps in particular practices every Monday night throughout the whole year, preparing ourselves not only for the spring concert that we have, the parades that we march in the summer, the competitions we go to at Imperial Shrine, but to be out in the communities and to express our thoughts and our feelings with our hospitals and the shrine, what it does.
Yeah, Kurt, they're going to be there on Saturday. What else do you guys have coming up for the Shriners?
We have the Great Shrine Parade that comes in the first weekend of June. That circus parade that you see in downtown Belleville, one of the biggest in Southern Illinois. The Drum Corps does play 15 other performances throughout Southern Illinois this year, different dates all the way through and into September.
You know, our stations reach 4.5 million potential listeners. We go south on 1190 very far, and we go all throughout the region. How can they get information? Do you have a website, or do you know what it is? See, I don't know our website here. I don't want to put you on the spot. Is there a way they can go to find out all the activities, all the concerts coming up by the Shriners?
Yes, sir. You can go to ionideshrine.org, and there'll be a link to the Ionide Drum and Bugle Corps. And we will post, we just recently accepted the performances this year, and we only accept 15 because we don't want to burn our guys out, just as well as they need to have time with their families also. So we're very fortunate that our corps is strong enough to be able to go out and give a good performance in certain areas.
Yeah. You know what? We just talked earlier. I talked about the heroin problem, and they're having a concert on Saturday. People don't want to get involved until there's a family member involved. And see, then it's usually too late. And I say this with the Shriners. I think everybody ought to go. You got a new hospital, don't you, over in St. Louis?
We do. It was dedicated last year, and the hospital is doing great. They are making headways. They've cut down from the large hospital they had out on Lindbergh and Forty area, and they're down by the Children's Hospital in downtown St. Louis.
Yeah. You know, it's like the heroin. I don't want to compare the heroin epidemic to what you guys do, but it's just like if you have a child and he's healthy and you're thankful, you need to do something for the Shriners, because you guys, I mean, I tell you what, it's amazing. See, I can't go there. I donate. I can't go there. I can't go to the animal shelter because, hell, I want to take all the dogs home. But what you guys do is really overwhelming. And I think if people came to the hospital, if they actually witnessed what the great Shriners all throughout this country were doing, there'd be an outpour of cash, because you can't go away after seeing what you guys do for these children and not want to help in some way.
Well, that is very true. As being a father of a son that was treated at Shriners Hospital, I can tell you that the work that they do is tremendous. I am so proud that my son had his feet worked on, and he was able to now wear size 16 shoes. So he was well treated when he was 10 years old.
Hey, Kurt, what is that? What is the website we can go to see what's going on? Maybe donate. Now, you guys never have your hands out. This is not a begging organization. This is a proud organization that asks for the help of people. So they can't take the money and don't want to take the money and go out to big conventions and spend the money. They want to spend the money on our less fortunate children. So anybody would like to donate, want to find out what kind of activities the great Shriners have going on, how can they reach you good people, Kurt?
Again, they can go to the IoniteShrine.org or the ShrineInternational.org, and they can get links to not only the drum corps, the other units in our temple that do a fine job and promote Shrinedom throughout Southern Illinois. So if you go to either one of those, or call the Shrine in East St. Louis, 618-874-1870. They'll be glad to direct you and help you in any way they can.
You know, Kurt, it's hard sometimes to get on these websites. How do you spell Ainite? Sometimes I pronounce it right, but give the spelling so people can have the correct spelling to get to the proper location.
It's spelled A-I-N-A-D, Ainad.
Ainad. Okay, well, correct me like my ex-old lady. Never mind. Go ahead.
So, yeah, Ainite Shrine, and please call into there or go to the website. You'll see a lot of interesting activities that we do and what we promote on, not only in our temple, but for the kids at the hospitals. Who's
the present potentate, Kurt?
A gentleman here from Belleville, Doyle.Club.
Okay, well, I didn't want to go without saying that, because when you get back to the headquarters, you'll probably be getting harassed if you don't. You got to mention the top dog, and we want to salute him, because I'm sure he's a great leader for the Shriners, as you were 20 years ago. And we want to, again, salute you guys, every Shriner, every Shriner for what they've done in the past, what they're going to do in the future. And you guys are the unsung heroes. So Kurt Gross, a good friend of ours, a treasurer of the Shriner. And I said, wait a minute. I said Belleville Drum and Bugle Corps. They've had a drum and bugle corps, the Black Knights, and I think you told me last time that you were a member of the Black Knights.
We have several members of the Black Knights, the Millstock Crusaders, some other corps, the Phantom Regiment. We have members from there, and the Cavaliers out of Chicago. So we have guys from Mismatch, but our main corps is from the Black Knights and the Crusaders.
Well, I tell you, I remember back in the day, we couldn't afford entertainment back in the housing project, but we'd come out to parades and nothing better. I think the Black Knights made made some national awards and national news a few times in the past.
Yes, they did.
Kurt Gross, it's our honor and our privilege to have you and every Shriner that you represent in this great country. Mr. Kurt Gross, the treasurer of the Drum Corps. Guys, please go to their website, help the cause, because these guys are the unsung heroes. They're out there taking care of the children who are less fortunate, the children that need help. That these guys get nothing but thanks, and that's all they want. The Shriners, we want to salute the proud Shriners all throughout this country. Again, Mr. Kurt Gross, thank you very much, sir, for your time.
Thank you, sir.
We're going to take a quick break. Kurt's going to leave the building like Elvis did after his performance, because I'm going crazy after this. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane Broadcasting, your guardian of the First Amendment, America's bi-state voice of freedom. Radical Radio, and we are, as always, very, very proud to be the Patriot. This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane Broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud to be the Patriot. We're going to talk about a gentleman, use that term loosely, who went to the courthouse to try to get an order of protection on me for something that I allegedly said that I never said. But this is America, you idiot. Now, this guy I'm going to be talking about wants his name out for publication. He gets on the internet and he spews nasty lies about everybody. And when I mention the name, everybody will know who I'm talking about. But he went to the courthouse a few days ago to get an order of protection against me. This is the same guy who came up to our radio station 2 or 3 weeks ago, the same guy who came out when we were broadcasting and tried to disrupt the broadcast, and he's afraid of me. But we'll get to that just momentarily. But I'm going to read this St. Clair County court filing. It's for public record. And he lied all through this. I've never, you people have heard me. We were talking about a pedophile protester. We said we didn't know who he was. And now all of a sudden, this gentleman says I said it was him. And I say to that, why would you think that, sir? Why would you think that? But before we do that, county leaders hope mistakes will prompt do-over for this spy agency. These crybaby son of a bitches in St. Clair County, they're crying, saying, oh, it was St. Clair, County, Illinois, not St. Clair County, Missouri. You don't think the government knew that? These bastards, it's just like the airport. They can't let go. They can't let go of that airport that's cost us $500 million of hardworking taxpayers. And now they can't let go. We want a do-over. Well, you what, rotten bastards? You should have had a do-over 40 years ago. For 40 years, you guys have been screwing the culture of corruption in St. Clair County. You've been screwing the taxpayers, men, women, black, white, Democrats, Republicans. And now you want a do-over? How about Sprague, Barry, Civic, and Kern? We want a do-over. We want a do-over, you no good son of a bitches. And I think in November, we are going to do over. But do you people understand? Our county leaders, and now it's not Kern, it's not Sprague, it's not Barry Civic. They've got that asswipe Terry Beach talking. When there's something negative, they always send somebody else out to respond. If it's something positive, these rotten bastards will be waving their hands, dancing in the street. So they send Terry Beach out. County leaders are basing their case for a do-over on what they describe as federal regulations that were cherry-picked. Hell, everything's cherry-picked. And you know why it was cherry-picked to be over in St. Louis? Because of the culture of corruption in St. Clair County. Even the federal government in Washington, D.C., they know about the corruptness. They know about all the crime, the political crime in St. Clair County. Illinois, let's don't distinguish St. Clair County, Missouri, probably a nice area, if there is one, from St. Clair County, Illinois. But do you understand? Now our leaders in St. Clair County, they're crying foul. It shouldn't have happened. No, it shouldn't have happened 40 years ago. That's the problem, people. And they want to blame somebody else. Do you ever notice that these politicians, they'll take the credit when they don't deserve it. But when they have the blame that they do deserve, they always want to play the old okey-fadoke. You guys can't blame anybody but yourself for what happened. And here's Terry Beach, St. Clair County Economic Development Director, the same Terry Beach that I talked about a few days back. If they had these misstatements about us concerning St. Clair County, Michigan, and St. Clair County, Missouri, what things did you think they're missing reviewing the St. Louis North Side site? You crybaby son of a bitch. But you see Kern's not out there, Sprague, Bear Civic. They throw Terry Beach, and that's about all he's good for, is to be thrown underneath the bus because he's an ignorant son of a bitch. Economic Development Director. That's what's wrong. We have no economic development. Everybody's leaving. The businesses are leaving St. Clair County. Terry Beach, you need to get your lame ass out of there. But they want to cry. Oh, it shouldn't have happened. We want another 15 days. Again, it's like the airport, people. They just won't let go, will they? They're going to fight and say foul. It ain't foul. Up at the courthouse is foul. You no good son of a bitches have created this environment for the last 40, 50 years, and now you're crying? You crybaby bastards? Again, you should have thought about that 40 years ago. It's not coming to St. Clair County because of the culture of corruption, and all you good people in St. Clair County, remember this. Remember the debacle airport. Remember the $4 or $5 billion in potential revenue that the St. Clair County Democratic Central Committee, the St. Clair County culture of corruption, is bestowed upon us for the last 30, 40, 50 years. And they're going to cry to the government, give us another 15 days? These people have been working on this for years. Now, what does our county government and their officials, what do they think another 15 days? They're just holding on, again, just like the airport. And when Roger Cook gets elected, he's pledged to do something with that airport to make it less costly. You know, I don't know what the obligations are, but it's in my district, and Roger Cook and I are going to unite to do everything we can to get that burden, that big financial burden, off the backs of you hardworking taxpayers all throughout St. Clair County. We're not going to stand for that crap. Not going to be another 20 years of wasting your money so these rotten bastards can shore up their jobs for their people. All the jobs out at the airport, the needless jobs. They've got their family and friends working $80,000, $90,000 a year, sitting on their ass. Got the assistant airport director shooting pigeons at $100,000 a year. Are you crazy? But they want to cry. They want to cry about it was wrong. No, it was wrong 30, 40 years ago. It was wrong last year. It's been wrong all these years that you guys with the corrupt political organization in St. Clair County have run everybody. You've run businesses out. You've run people out. You saw the reports about people living and moving out of St. Clair County. They're moving out in droves. There's nothing in St. Clair County. Taxes are outrageous. Crime's outrageous. We get nothing for our tax dollar, people. And now the county, St. Clair County, Illinois, let's distinguish like they want to. They want another review. How pathetic are these people? They're never going to give up, just like the airport. It's not our fault. It's not our fault. They're like a bunch of young kids. Never take the blame. These hypocritical, no-count, good-for-nothing bastards, people, I hope you remember come November of 2016. I don't give a damn you vote for me. Just vote these bastards out. You don't have to vote for anybody. Vote against these son of a bitches. You've seen what happened. $1.7 billion has been lost to St. Clair County because of the culture of corruption, because of the St. Clair County Democratic Central Committee, the culture of corruption. There's a lot of Democrats throughout the county that aren't going to vote for you rotten bastards. They're Democrats, and they're going to remain true Democrats. And when I say the culture of corruption Democrats in St. Clair County, please don't think that I'm talking about the 95% of the decent, hardworking Democratic people in this county, because I'm not. Just like I talk about the plantation Negroes in East St. Louis. I'm not talking about the proud black community down there. I want to distinguish between the two as I am up here. These are the corrupt Democrats, the renegade Democrats, the black sheep Democrats who have done nothing but take from even their Democratic fellows, their Democratic friends. They don't care if you're not in the 5% of the elite, the establishment in St. Clair County. You're not going to get anything, people. The proud Democrats in St. Clair County, they're going to come over. They're going to come over not to vote for Republicans, not to vote for members of the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition, but to vote against the thing we all hate, the corrupt organization in St. Clair County. But I just hope, I honestly hope that they reconsider. They're not going to. I'd love to have them reconsider, because if they do, and if we would get it, then Sprague and Kern and Bear Civic couldn't take the credit, because they know why they've lost it. But if they got the credit, I would give them the credit. I'll do whatever to try to bring an economic development like that to St. Clair County. Roger Cook will do the same. We don't want to be big shots. We don't want to be what we hate, big shot political bastards. We want to be public servants for the people of St. Clair County. But to think that now they want a do-over, county leaders hope mistakes will prompt do-over. No, the mistakes were made again 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. And up until this date, the mistake is a culture of corruption, the democratic culture of corruption in St. Clair County. That's the mistake, people. And it's not going to get a do-over until we do them in. Politically, of course. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of Radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting at its finest, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud, very proud to be the Patriot. This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of Radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting at its finest, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud, very proud to be the Patriot. I talked to you a little bit earlier, and see this gentleman we're going to talk about. There's other people protest. I don't know why he thought somebody was singling him out, but he's just crying for some kind of affection. And he talks about me. He talks about everybody in the newspaper. He gets on and spews lies on the internet, and he's got about 8 people that he sends out stuff to, and they all know what kind of guy he is, an idiot, a complete idiot. But I didn't want to mention his name because it does give him somewhat in his mind some kind of credibility. But I will not take this crap. This gentleman goes up to the courthouse and tries to get a order of protection against me because what I allegedly said, which I never said. But this idiot goes to the courthouse and they run him and laugh him out of the courthouse. On March the 21st, and this is a matter of public record, a court filing at the courthouse to try to get a order of protection against me. I've never been around this man. He comes up and harasses us at our live broadcast. He comes to the radio station a few weeks ago and harasses Ed Cockrell. And when I give you this gentleman's name, you'll know what I'm talking about and who I'm talking about. On March the 21st, I attended a public broadcast by local radio talk show host and like, get this now, convicted felon. We don't want to leave that out. Robert Bob Romanik at the St. Clair County Courthouse. When I arrived at the broadcast, Mr. Romanik, without provocation. Now, everybody up there saw the provocation, what this idiot was doing, made several gestures, and I did make some gestures towards him. I didn't ask him to attend, but he was yelling and screaming and trying to disrupt everybody like he does everything. Then Mr. Romanik went on to identify me by my first and last name to his group of supporters, and I did, because he was out there being an idiot like he always is. At first, he stated my name correctly, Brad Van Hoos. But then he proceeded to call me such names as Brad Van Hoosier, and I did, and actually, though everybody knows him by Brad Van Loser, is what they call him. You know, they laugh about him behind his back. During the course of his triad, Bob Romanik made overtures of violence towards me. Hell, I'm on the air talking to the people. I couldn't make any overtures of violence. That's how this delusional son of a bitch is. And here, people, here's what I don't understand. Made false statements to the gathered crowd telling them he knew me to be a pedophile. This is in court record that he put in. I have never once, when I've talked about the pedophile protester, never once have I ever mentioned anybody's name. I did talk about a pedophile protester. Somebody and several people called and says, hey, one of those protesters that go out and protest all the time is a pedophile. They said one of them. Nobody said which one. I never did. I don't think Brad Van Loser, I don't think you're the only one who protests, at all these events. Why, I ask, I'm asking you a question. Would you put yourself into this situation? I also asked for whatever reason, does this situation bother you? Think about it, Brad Van Hoos. Why would you put yourself into such a horrific situation? Your name was never brought up about being a pedophile. But does that bother you for some reason? Why? And I'm asking, why would you put yourself into this mix? Why do you think I was talking about you when I never, ever mentioned a name? And it says, let's see, Romanik, that I was indeed a pedophile. That was never said about anybody. I've said, and we've got all the tapes, and we've got copies of my live broadcast. Well, I didn't know who it was. I thought the gentleman lived in his mom's basement. Now, does that fit you, Brad Van Hoosier? Brad Van Loser? Brad Van Hoos? Does that fit you? Mr. Romanik warned me that I shouldn't say anything negative about him, that he may be my father. And I did say that jokingly. He went on to make other lewd comments. Romanik then said, but then again, I probably wouldn't be your father because I wouldn't have sex with your mother. And I did say that because if that's what comes out of a woman, I don't want nothing, I said nothing to do with her. On the day of question, made several crude statements about your mama. I don't know if they were crude. Disparaging remarks on more than 10 occasions. But see, here's a guy who tries to get a court order, an order of protection, they've tried to get orders of protection on him forever. This is the goofy son of a bitch that got arrested at Swick, and we're going to put that all on the iTunes so you can, or with the YouTube, so you can see what an idiot he is. But I've identified him, called me the pedophile protester while working as a talk show host for Insane Broadcasting. I have never, ever mentioned anybody's name because, as I said, we didn't know who the pedophile protester was. So please note, I was the only person present today protesting his broadcast, and that's not true. There was a guy in the corner kind of yelling. So you see, he brings this bad light on himself. Since then, I have several people drive by my home and shout comments to me indicating they believe me to be a pedophile. How the hell did they find out where you live, Brad Van Loser? I never once mentioned your name. You must be out there spewing this. I say you must be because we're not, because we did not know. I feel these actions have been as a result of Mr. Romanik's public and false calling me a pedophile protester. Never once. But I wonder, Brad Van Hoos, why the hell would you throw yourself into this mix? Is something bothering you? I do not understand. And it's got here, YouTube dated the pedophile protester. I don't know what you're talking about, Brad Van Hoos. I've never put anything on YouTube. I don't know. Hell, I can barely use my telephone. But I feel offended, Brad Van Loser, Brad Van Hoos. Don't pull me into your whatever kind of mix this is. I don't want to know anything about you. I know about you. Everybody in St. Clair County knows about you. They know you go out. You got to have some publicity. So I'm giving you publicity today because I don't appreciate the lies you try to put at the courthouse on me. And he says here, I pray this court will grant relief in the matter and order Bob Romanik to publicly correct his false statements. I'm correcting my statements and they weren't false. What I said, and never was your name mentioned. And further order Mr. Romanik to immediately cease falsifying and my identity as a sex offender. I've never said you were a sex offender. Why would you bring that up, Brad Van Loser? People, think about it. What's wrong with this idiot? He's throwing himself under the bus. He, I say, is throwing himself under the bus. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Well, I have the evidence. There have been more incidents. These were the first two incidents. As long as Mr. Romanik continues on this course of action, his safety and the safety of his family will be in jeopardy at home and in the public. Is he crazy? I don't even think his family talks to him. This is a loose cannon. You guys read it in the paper. You see all the stuff he spews out on the internet, and he talks about Bob Romanik spewing crap. But Brad Van Hooser, Brad Van Loser, Brad Van Hoos, I do not appreciate you putting me into this mix. I don't want nothing to do with your lame ass. Now, I know you're going to probably be threatened again like you have in the past, but that's okay. But don't put me into your whatever kind of mix you have here. But for you, Brad Van Loser, Brad Van Hoos, to say I said anything about you being a sex offender, about you being a pedophile, that's the furthest thing from the truth. You can get all our tapes. Never said nothing about you. But they kept calling about there's somebody out there who's a pedophile protester. One of the people protesting is a pedophile. Why? I asked Brad Van Hoos, why would you put yourself into this mix? I hope something, I say personally, I hope something's not bothering you, but this is a matter for court record up at the St. Clair County Courthouse. I don't understand why, as delusional as this guy is, that he would put this stuff in, unless, again, he wants the attention. And if you're that desperate to get the attention that you put this lying crap out, Brad Van Hoos, Brad Van Loser, Brad Van Hooser, whatever the hell you are today, you're just a complete idiot. And I got to tell you, I feel sorry for you, sir, because if this is the only way you can get attention, how egregious is that? If this is the only way you can get somebody to know who you are in your life, I say, Brad Van Loser, do something good. Do something good for the community. Don't be a loser, a Brad Van Loser all your life. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. Come on back tomorrow, same time, same place, when we'll continue our fight for truth, justice, and the American way. People, remember, the election's coming up. You're going to hear it here day in and day out, just like you do on all the national news media. That's what this country's about. Democracy, putting people in office that'll work for us, not against us, people that will do for us, not just do for them. So let's continue to at least listen, try to research what I say, and after you do, you'll find out that what I say is always correct. So let's together continue to expose these rotten bastard political parasitical punks that we call politicians. Let's drag them over the political coals of hell. And when it's all said and done, you know what we have to do. We have to take our great cities, country, counties back from these evil, no-count, low-life, political, parasitical punks that we call politicians, and destroy them. Destroy them once and for all. Destroy them politically, of course, right here on the dark side.
They're coming to take me away, ha-ha. They're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha. To the funny farm where life is beautiful all the